Ishwar ji lies in you. Ishwar ji lies in you.
Hello everyone, welcome to today's Satsang. Okay, so today's Shabad is by me. The title of the Shabad is Rangreza. Translation is O Beloved, please color me with your love. Then we have introduction by Michael. Then we have today's talk by Prempal ji. Topic is Temple of Living God. Then we'll do a short dhyan session of 5 minutes. And after that, we'll watch Ishwarji's YouTube video and we'll do group meditation with love and devotion. I'll read the translation of the song, which I'll be singing. The title is Rangreza, which means, Oh beloved, please color me with your love. Oh beloved, please color me with your love. Color me such that I am free of all attachments and desires. Color me such that I am never distracted away from your love. Please color me with your love to never let me be lonely. With your love, let me forgive myself. Let me only be the beloved. Because when I lose myself, I am truly winning everything. Hug me with your love, oh beloved, such that I never feel separate from you. We are all in the dark. Please lead us to you with your love and light, O beloved. There are showers of love. There are showers of love at my beloved's place. I want to drench my soul in it. My beloved has colored me with his love. I have realized that he is with me all the time. Wherever I go, he will always be with me. I realize now that there is no difference left between us. My beloved has colored me with his love. Thank you. Now we'll start with the recording.
Hello Sangat. This song is for my master, my beloved. The title of the song is Rangreza, as in colorful master. Here it goes. रंग रेजा रंग दे मोहे रंग दे तू रंग रेजा साहिब जी पिया रंग दे मोहे रंग दे तू रंग रेजा साहिब जी पिया ऐसे रंग दे तू मुझको तेरे रंग में ओ पिया ऐसे रंग दे तू मुझको तेरे रंग में ओ पिया और कोई रंग मुझ पे कहीं लागे नहीं और कोई रंग डाले भी तो लागे नहीं रंग दे मोहे रंग दे तू रंग रेजा साहिब जी पिया ऐसी दीवानी कर दे तेरे इश्क में पिया ऐसी दीवानी कर दे तेरे इश्क में पिया, मुझको दीवानी कर दे, तेरे इश्क में पिया, ऐसी दीवानी कर दे, तेरे इश्क में पिया। और किसी से भी दिल ये इश्क चाहे नहीं, और किसी से भी इश्क दिल ये चाहे नहीं। रंग रेजा रंग रेजा, रंग दे मोहे रंग रेजा, रंग दे तू रंग रेजा, साहिब जी पिया। भर ले बाहों में अपनी, ऐसे मुझको तू पिया, भर ले बाहों में अपनी, ऐसे मुझको तू पिया। और किसी के करीब मुझको जाना नहीं, और किसी के करीब मुझको जाना नहीं। तू दिखा दे अंधेरे में रास्ता वो पिया, तू दिखा दे अंधेरे में रास्ता वो पिया, तू दिखा दे अंधेरे में रास्ता वो पिया। लेके जाए तेरी ही तरफ जो पिया, चलते जाऊं मैं मोड़ कोई आए नहीं, चलते जाऊं मैं मोड़ कोई आए नहीं। रंग रेजा रंग रेजा, रंग दे मोहे रंग रेजा, रंग दे तू रंग रेजा, साहिब जी पिया। रंग है पिया आज रंग है पिया, मोहे पिया जी के घर आज रंग है पिया। मोहे रंग दे पिया आज रंग दे पिया, साहेब रंग दे आज रंग दे पिया। तेरे ही रंग में रंग के पिया, एक तेरे रंग में रंग के पिया। इतना मैंने जान लिया, संग है पिया मेरे संग है पिया, मैं जाऊं जहां मेरे संग है पिया। संग है पिया मेरे संग है पिया, मैं जाऊं जहां मेरे संग है पिया। तेरे ही रंग में रंग के पिया, एक तेरे रंग में रंग के पिया। इतना मैंने जान लिया, संग है पिया मेरे संग है पिया, मैं जाऊं जहां मेरे संग है पिया। Hello Sangat, this song
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our holy Satsang. Are you, my holy family, ready to conquer the world? Let's conquer the world. Let's praise our holy masters. Let's praise Father God, and let's enjoy. Really, to tell you the truth, like the only thing I live for, and the only thing that makes me happy is Satsang. That since COVID, all my worldly friends have been put away. My family is across the ocean. My brother is in a different state. And all I have is you, my holy family, and this satsang. And that's what keeps me going. That's my purpose of life. And that is the best thing I have in my life, is that satsang gives me a cup of love every day and makes me grow towards my Holy Father. That what happens when I don't get a cup of love? What happens? My face starts to harden like this. My muscles start to twitch and cramp, and everybody around me gets worried and feels concerned that there is something wrong. Even the mirror that I look to gets worried. What's happening to Mike's face? This is how important it is to get a cup of love from satsang every day. And every day, this satsang that has been blessed by my master, Santakar Singh, by my master, Ishwar Puri Ji, and by my master, Baba Sawan Singh. These three masters poured their blessings on this satsang. And not only these three masters, but I have my grandmaster, Sant Kirpal, and my uncle Master Sant Ajayib, and my other uncle Master Sharan Singh, and all the saints and masters, that here we continue the teachings of Baba Sawan Singh. We continue the teachings taught by Baba Sawan Singh, taught by Guru Nanak in the same way, and we glorify Father God. We imbibe these teachings and these words. We live up to them, and daily we grow together in God. Every day is one stop closer to our holy destination, to our true home, God and the kingdom of God. So the saints say that once the human being has no desires whatsoever, that means no desires of the physical world, no desires of the astral world, no desires of the causal world, then the curtain of separation between the beloved and the lover is removed, and the beloved shows himself 100% 24/7 when there is no desires. That comes when there is full surrenderance. But is it easy to surrender? Is it easy to surrender? It is not easy to surrender because we have our mind. And our mind plays games on us. Our mind wants us to stay in its realm. Our mind wants every soul to stay in the bondage of the cycle of birth, suffering, death, birth, suffering, death. This is the job of the mind. And we all have this mind. We all have to live with this mind. And in order to surrender, it is very, very, very hard. In order to do the real surrender, we have to go within first. We have to go within first, see our master inside, and see that he is the doer of everything. Once we see that our master is the doer of everything, then surrenderance becomes easier, and egotism is put on the side, and all obstacles are removed, and then happiness starts to dwell in our heart. But this is a process that surrenderance, first we have to go within. There is two types of surrenderance, or two types of people who say they have surrendered. When we say we have surrendered outwardly, a lot of people say we have surrendered, and as long as their wealth is okay, their health is okay, their possessions are okay, then they are okay and they are with the master. But to outwardly surrender without going within, then whenever a calamity happens according to our deeds, according to our karmas that we have sown in the past lives, when something bad happens, we lose part of our possessions, or we lose somebody we love, or we get humiliated, or something like that, then directly we pack our bags and we leave the master. We leave the master because it was only an outer surrenderance and not an inner surrenderance. So surrenderance has to be from inside. We have to become like a 40-year-old child. A 40-year-old child smells his mom, hears his mom, and surrenders fully to his mom, that whenever he needs something, he just cries and the mother gives him. He lives in that surrenderance. That's why the saints and masters say that we have to become like a 40-day-old child. And that is the true surrenderance, that the child surrenders to the mother. And then when he surrenders, there is no worries. The mother takes care of him. And the same way, when we surrender to the master, then no worries. Our worries will go away and we build faith. And the most important thing is that building the faith in the master. When we build the faith in the master, when we have trust in the master, that he is taking care of our life moment by moment by moment, then all good qualities start to be imbibed in us, and all our bad qualities from the five enemies that always trick us, those five enemies from the mind always trick us, and know it to be for sure and for certain when there is a voice inside of you telling you to stop the devotion to God, to stop the bhajan, to stop the simran, and to stop going to satsang for any reason. For any reason, usually the mind will put a reason. Now I don't want to go to satsang. Now it's time to go within. You know it that it's an attack from the negative power, as seva, satsang, and meditation are all correlated together. They have to be all together, to work together. That in order to go within, seva, seva is necessary. It is like a cash transaction where we get the direct benefit from God. When we sit in meditation, sometimes our mind wanders and we don't get the direct benefit. We get something, but not the direct benefit. But when we do seva, it's a direct benefit. It's a direct benefit that fills our cup directly. And then satsang, satsang of the holy saints and the holy masters, to read from the books of the saints, to listen to their discourses, it charges our atmosphere. And that makes us think of Master. And when we think of Master, then Master is there. When we think of Master, Master is there. And then all blessings are there. And then it's a charged atmosphere, especially where two or more gather in the name of the Master. That is the highest blessing. That's the very, very, very charged atmosphere. And so much grace and so much blessings and so much love are poured. So many karmas are being annihilated right now when we are, all of us are thinking of Master. They are being burnt. They are being burnt by the grace. Being burnt by the grace because we're all sitting together in this circle of lovers, in this circle of love, thinking of our Holy Master, Ishwarji, or whichever Master. We all come from so many different Masters. And when we think of those Masters, we're thinking of Shabd. We're thinking of the Holy Word. In the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God, and the Word was God. So when we praise our Holy Masters, we are praising the Word God, which is the maker of everything. That any devotion that does not consist of the holy word God, the Shabd, the Naad, the holy Kalima, is really fruitless, as Guru Nanak says, and all the saints and masters says that everything is fruitless if you are not connected to the name of God, if you're not connected to that power of Naam, to the holy word, to the celestial music. That music, that Naam, that Shabd is what draws the blessings, what brings the showers of grace, and what takes us back to our true home. That holy Naam combined with love and devotion to a perfect one, that will draw us to our perfect home. So we have to be very careful of the tricks of the mind, that the mind keeps tricking us moment by moment. And trying to take us away from the path of devotion. Even the saints have a mind, and they have to always put their foot on their mind and keep their mind 100% controlled. There is a story of this Mahatma. I never told you this story. There is this Mahatma. He had many disciples, and he was on a very high Mahatma, a perfect one. And as he used to go to his house, on the way to his house, there is a prostitute who used to live there. And she was always harassing him and telling him, she had a dog, and her dog has a beautiful, beautiful tail that looked like a beard. And she would always ask him, "Oh, old man, which is better, my dog's tail or your beard? Which looks more beautiful?" And then he will just close his eyes and keep on going. And he never got angry. But she was getting his darshan on daily basis, and she was asking him this question. And then one day, um, when the masters look at us, and sometimes they don't answer our questions because they are preparing the soul for the right time to answer the question. One day, this master was on his deathbed. He was on his deathbed, and then he called his disciples and he said, "Please go call that woman. Go call that woman that lives over there." And for him, she's not a prostitute. For him, he looks beneath the dirt. He looks beneath the soot, and he sees that there is a beautiful soul there, and that soul belongs to him. So many of the disciples that were around the master started criticizing him, like, "Look at this old man. He's calling this disciple at this age, and he's dying." Like, because they are not developed from within. And people who are not developed from within, the disciples who are not developed from within, they start to judge. They start to judge directly because mind does not see the whole picture. Mind only sees part of the picture. And mind is so good at judging. So they started to judge him, and some disciples left. Then the prostitute came, and he told her, now I can answer your question. Now I can answer your question. And my beard is 1,000,000,000 times more beautiful than your dog's tail. And I'm saying this because before I could not answer this question, because my mind could have tricked me at some point, and I would have been a hypocrite. My mind could have tricked me, but since I have controlled my mind all the time till today, and today I'm on my deathbed, I can answer your question that my beard stayed beautiful, and my beard is more 1,000,000,000 times more beautiful than your dog's tail. And then she was mesmerized by the master, and she said, sorry, master, and she fell at his feet, and she became a devotee, and he changed her. He changed her. That all bad habits that she had went away, and she changed from a crow to a swan. This is how the masters work. They have a secret way to work, and everything is revealed at the right time, at the right moment. Even when we don't see things at the right, we don't see things in the present sometimes, and we see them with the eye of the mind, and they are incomplete, and there are questions. When we see the perfect picture with the eye of the soul, then all questions will be answered. And so this is my introduction for today. And now I thank you, Master, for the seva that you give me. I am very, very grateful. And sorry if I do any mistakes, and sorry for if I have any ego or anything like that. Sorry. And now I will play my dear brother Prempal. Oh, I forgot to thank Vinaya for the beautiful shabd. Very beautiful shabd, my dear sister. I loved it. But sometimes I get like confused and I forget to thank. Thank you so much for the beautiful shabd.
My today's topic is Temple of Living God, or according to the Gurwani of Shri Guru Granth Sahib Ji, I will say, Harimandir e Shreer hai. Harimandir e Shreer hai, Gyan Ratan Pargat hoye. This body is a temple of living God that only experience, all kind of experience can be experienced from this while we are living in this physical body. God created everyone. It depends what kind of species you are. Human beings are at the top, also known as Asharful Makhlukat, Nanarani or top of the creation. That means we have all the elements, especially the fifth one that I said in my last talk, the consciousness. All the other species, they do have a consciousness, but we got the most. We got the most. As Krishna Ji Maharaj says in Gita, as a human being, you have a right to create karma, but you can think before creating a karma. Why? Because you got vivek, buddhi or consciousness. That means you can think better than any other species. We're at the top. We're at the top. As a human being, we can research everything from inside. From inside. There is nothing outside. As Gurwani of Guru Granth Sahib Ji say, Harmandir e Shreer hai, Gyan Ratan Pargat hoye. And also, Guru Ramdas Ji Maharaj, the fourth Guru, says, Ram Nam Ratan Kothdi, Gad Mandir Ek Lokani, Satgur Mile Tak Khojiye Mil Jyoti Jyot Samani, Madho Sadhu Jan Deo Milai. Guru Ramdas Ji Maharaj say, Ram Nam Ratan Kothdi. The real Naam, that means sound current. What is Naam? What is Naam anyway? What is Naam? There are two different kinds of Naam. Varanatmak and Tonatmak. Varanatmak, the one who can write and read and speak. That's Varanatmak. There is a Tonatmak. Tonat means the sound current. The one that cannot be written. The one that cannot be explained. That is Tonatmak. Ton means the sound. You can call it Kalam Ilahi, Wange Ismani, Nalai Sultani, sound current, or any other word you can use for it, or you can call it creative power. Ram Naam. Ram, the one who lives in everyone. What is Naam anyway? What is Naam? If it is Tunatmak, then where is that Tunatmak? Where is that sound? Where is that sound? That sound is coming inside of us 24/7 at the third eye center. But where the sound coming from? Where the sound coming from? It comes from Sachkhand. As Yeshupuri Ji Maharaj says, resonance comes from Sachkhand. If resonance comes from Sachkhand, that who came from Sachkhand? Our soul came from Sachkhand, not our physical body, not our sensory body, and not our mind either. The only thing that came from our Sachkhand is the soul. That soul came with that music, means sound current or shabd. The music that's going on inside your soul, आपकी अंतर आत्मा के अंदर जो संगीत गूंज रहा है उसी को आप शब्द और नाम कह सकते हो. The music that's going on inside your soul is shabd or naam or kalma, kalam ilahi, bang ismani, sound current. You can say it anytime. Why? Because everything was created with the sound, shabd. And that shabd is inside the soul. And soul came from Sachkhand. That means whatever was in Sachkhand is in the soul. And soul is inside of us. Soul is inside of all the species. Because as a human being, we have all those five elements, especially the consciousness of Vivek. So we can understand it better. As Guru Sahib Ji says, Guru Ramdas Ji says, Ram Nam Ratan Kothdi Gad Mantra Ek Lukani. The name is inside of us. All kind of rubies inside of us. Gad means the fort or killa. Mandir, Ek Lukani. Guru Sahib Ji says, there is a big fort or killa. Inside that fort, there is a temple that's hiding. Ek Lukani. Satgur mile ta khojiye mil jyoti jyot smani madho sadhu jan deo milai. Guru Sahib Ji says, the name, that's a ruby, most precious thing, is inside of us. In a kothdi, Gad Mandir Ek Lukani, there is a temple that's hiding in a big fort. You cannot discover this temple. You cannot discover all those rubies from inside. Satgur mile tak khojiye, you can discover it only with the help of a perfect living master. Mile jyoti jyot samani. Once you find a perfect living master, he will initiate you or give you a shabd or naam. With the help of that master, with the advice of that master, you can research that. You can research that. Guru Sahib says, Madho Sadhu Jan Deo Milai. There are two things that comes in Guru Granth Sahib again and again. That's Madho and Sadhu. Madho means Vaheguru Paramatma, God. Sadhu means Sadh Sangat or perfect living master. Guru Sahib Ji here, the fourth Guru, Guru Ramdas Ji Maharaj Ji says, please, Vaheguru Paramatma, God, please give me a company of perfect yoga master, so I can research my all those things that's hiding inside us. Here, Guru Sahib is trying to explain us that we have a physical body. Inside that physical body, we have an astral body or sensory body. Then we have a causal body, also known as mental body. Then after that, there is a spirit or soul or Atma. We have to remove all those coverings. We are living at a physical level, in a physical body. Like in this physical body, there is lot more things. Lot more things. We have to start from physical, start doing meditation, then we will see the sensory body. Then we can focus on that. Then we can see the causal body or Karan Sharir. We focus on that, then we will discover everything. These are the three coverings upon the soul. Sthul, Suksham, Karan. Physical, astral and causal. As Sant Baba Braham Singh Ji from Ratawada Sahib used to say very simply in his Punjabi Satsang, if you have a coat on you, underneath the coat is a shirt, underneath the shirt is the undershirt. The coat is a physical body, the shirt is a sensory body, and the undershirt is a causal body. If you remove all that, then you will be naked. That means you will see who you are. We have to remove all those coverings to discover ourselves. To discover ourselves. But everything inside of us, we have to start from physical. Parmandir a sharir hai, Gyan Ratna Pargut hoye. Then who created this mandir? What is the meaning of mandir? Man andar, mind, inside of your mind. That is the meaning of mandir, inside of your mind. That means from where the creation started. We have to go through our mind, we have to use our mind. As Ishwar Puri Maharaj Ji always says, it's a beautiful tool given to us, so we can use it. So we can use it to go back home. If you have a car, you can sit in a car, you can go to work, you can go to temple, you can go to church, or you can go to a beer bar. It's up to you. Same thing here. Mind is given to us, it depends on us how we use this tool. As Baba Sahib Singh used to say, you have a knife, you can either cut the fruit or you can stab someone. Same thing here. Mind is given to us. So we can use the mind. We can use the mind. Mind, as a matter of fact, Huzur Maharaj Baba Sahib Singh used to say, mind was given to us as a servant. But we end up becoming a servant of the mind. And great Master Baba Sahib Singh Ji used to give an example in his discourses, in his satsang, that there was a king and he has a bigger kingdom and he has a lot of servants. And all those servants, including sensory body, physical body and mind, they were there to serve him. But happened that king depended too much on those servants that he ended up becoming the slave of those servants. Then they took him over. Same thing here. Soul is a part of God. We are the drop of that consciousness. I can say, we belong to totality of consciousness. Our soul is a part of that consciousness. Whatever is in the totality of consciousness is in our soul. Soul contains whatever is in Vaheguru Paramatma. Atam mein Ram, Ram mein Atam. Whatever is in the totality of consciousness is also in our soul. If you go to a sea and you check the water there, the analysis will be H2O. If you bring a one sip of water from there and take it to the lab, what will be the analysis? H2O. Whatever is in the drop, same thing is in the sea. Whatever is in the sea is also in the drop. So everything is inside the soul. As Guru Maharaj Baba Sahib Singh used to say, mind, physical body, sensory body was given to us. So we can discover ourselves, who can have self-realization, or we can experience everything. As Ishwar Puri Maharaj used to say in all or most of Satsang, that we came here for an adventure. So we can experience different experience. This opportunity was given to us in such kind. When this creation was created, Vaheguru Paramatma God asked the soul who were there, there is a new creation. If you want to go for an adventure, you can go, but I'm not forcing anyone. I asked the same question from Ishwar Puriji Maharaj almost like 10 years ago. And I asked that question from Babaji in Punjabi. And I will say that in Punjabi, then I will repeat that in English. I asked that question from Babaji. And like 10, 11 years ago, they will bring the microphone to you or the speaker, then you can say. And Babaji was in Swastapur. And that question was stuck in my mind for many years. And I asked Ishwar Puriji Maharaj, I said, Babaji, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਮ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਔਰ ਬਾਬਾ ਸਾਬਣ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਵੀ ਕਰਮ ਸਿਧਾਂਤ ਤੇ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਜਿਸ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਉਦਾਂ ਦਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜਨਮ ਮਿਲ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੀ ਜਦੋਂ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਪਰਮਾਤਮਾ ਨੇ ਇਸ ਦੁਨੀਆ ਦੀ ਰਚਨਾ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਬ੍ਰਹਮਾ ਵਿਸ਼ਨੂੰ ਮਹੇਸ਼ ਬਣਨ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਮਿਲਿਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਚੰਗੇ ਕਰਮ ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਕੁੱਤਿਆਂ ਬਿੱਲਿਆਂ ਜਾਂ ਦਰਖਤਾਂ ਹੋਰ ਜੂਨਾਂ 'ਚ ਪਿਆ ਸੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਵਿਚਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹੜੇ ਮਾੜੇ ਕਰਮ ਕੀਤੇ ਸੀਗੇ And Babaji Ishwarji Murji Maharaj smiled at me. Then he said, very beautiful question. The question of Prempal is, why you were brought up here? Why we are brought up here while we have no karmas to begin with? It's a wonderful question. It was stuck in my mind for many years. Then Babaji said, when this creation was created, the model of 8.4 million species was created in such kind. Opportunity, a package deal was given to us. You can go if you want to. If you want to go, you can pick up any model. That's how the creation started. And only 10% souls came here. Other 90% souls are still there. You can call them ones. And we are the Huns. We came here for an adventure. And those, out of those 10% souls, and including all of us, those who turn around and ask God, Vaheguru Paramatma, we are ready to go. The thing is, if we have to come back to this house, Sachkhand, then how we come back? Then Vaheguru Paramatma God said, those who are willing to come, I will be there as a perfect level master. Same thing was explained, cleared in a Satsang of Sant Baba Ajaib Singh Ji. Sant Baba Ajaib Singh Ji made it clear in one of his Satsang. And Sant Baba Ajaib Singh Ji got initiation originally from another saint. Then after that, he got initiation from Maharaj Kirpal Singh Ji. Originally, he got initiation from Sant Baba Bishan Das Ji. Sant Baba Bishan Das Ji reached universal mind. Then he took Sant Baba Ajaib Singh Ji up to universal mind. But he was so old, he told Ajaib Singh Ji, Ajaib Singh, I'm too old, but there is something beyond Brahm, that's Par Brahm. Then he said, I really encourage you to go beyond time and space and find a master who had gone beyond time and space, then get his help, get initiation from him. Then Sant Baba Ajaib Singh Ji ended up getting initiation from Sant Maharaj, Guru Maharaj Kirpal Singh Ji. Then he reached Satsang, Sachkhand. And Babaji, Sant Baba Ajaib Singh Ji made it clear in one of his Satsangs that those souls who turn around and ask Vaheguru Paramatma God, if you want to come, how we come? Then God said, I'll be there as a perfect level master. And Sant Baba Ajaib Singh Ji said, Vaheguru said, I be there. I might come as a Guru Nanak. I might come as a Kabir. I might come as a Ramdas. I might come as a Ravidas. It's up to him. He came here as an Ishwar Puriji Maharaj. He came here as Guru Mataji. It's up to him. How he want to come, it depends on the list. Depends on the list. All those purple Legu masters who are coming here, they are here because of our seeking. Because of our seeking. Because of our seeking. Those who want to go back, those who are already fed up, there's nothing here, and they want to go back. A purple Legu master will come in their life, and if your name is in the list of that master, he'll take you. If your name is not in the list of that master, but is in the list of other master, then other master will initiate you. But if you love that master, he will shower blessings on you. I got initiation from Hajur Maharaj Charan Singh Ji, but I love all those purple Legu master, and they love me so much. Especially Ishwar Puri Maharaj, he's one of my best friend ever. He gave me so much love. And Maharaj Charan Singh Ji, Maharaj Gurinder Singh Ji, Sant Baba Sila Ram Ji, Chandpur, Guru Mata Ji. I'm getting so much love from them. Getting so much love from them. And all of us are getting so much love and blessings from them. Because they are prayed from Satsang. They are prayed from Satsang. They know our seeking. They know our seeking. If you have to go back, what we have to do? We will start from our physical body. Harmandir e sharir hai, Gyan Ratan Parvit hui. When Baba Nanak Ji went to Saudi Arabia, to Mecca, he had a chance to have conversation with Qazi Rukunuddin. When Babaji got there, the original conversation is in Arabic, but I will tell in Punjabi or English, because later on it was translated. Guru Nanak Ji, he was a Hafiz of Quran. He knew Quran very good. He knew everything. As a matter of fact, when you reach universal mind or Brahma, you can read or write anything. You can read or write anything. When Babaji went to Makkah, and he had a chance, when Babaji got there, everybody gathered around, and Rukunuddin and all those Qazis were there. And Qazi Rukunuddin, who was the head Qazi, and he asked Babaji, have you seen God? Have you seen God? And what kind of palace he lives in? And what kind of palace he has? What kind of a decoration is in that palace? And Babaji said, yes. And Rukunuddin Ji said, Babaji, please, do you know God, Allah? Babaji said, yes, of course I know. Then Rukunuddin Ji said, Babaji, what kind of palace he lives in? Hindi Pir Navi? What kind of palace he lives in? Can you explain? Babaji said, yes. Then Babaji said, what kind of palace is that? I will explain it to Rukunuddin. Then Babaji said, 12 बुर्ज 52 कींगरे तिसमें रहे खुदा ਉੱਚੇ ਖਾਸੇ ਮਹਿਲ ਤੋਂ ਵਾਂਗਾਂ ਦੇ ਖੁਦਾ ਪਰ ਸੁੱਤਿਆਂ ਵਾਂਗ ਨਾ ਸੁਣ ਸਕੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਗਾਏ ਖੁਦਾ Baba said 12 burj 12 section 52 means 52 kingre decoration Baba said there are 12 sections or 12 parts of that mahal or palace there are 52 decorating parts in the mahal or palace जिसमें रहे खुदा and he lives in there ਉੱਚੇ ਖਾਸੇ महल ਤੋਂ ਵਾਂਗਾ ਦੇ खुदा the top part of that palace or mahal he is sitting there and he is calling us please come and meet me there ਪਰ ਸੁੱਤਿਆਂ ਵਾਂਗ ਨਾ ਸੁਣ ਸਕੇ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਗਾਏ खुदा Rukunuddin we are sleeping you are sleeping and you give an azan sitting on the mihrab or arch of this Mecca and you are trying to wake up the people, but in reality, you are also sleeping. And Rukandin was very much surprised. He said, Babaji, please explain me what is 12 Burj? What are the 12 sections? What are the 12 pieces? Or what are the 12 things of that palace? And what are the 52 decorating things or jewels of that palace? Then Babaji said, Rukandin, start from the big toe of your feet. From big toe to the ankle, from ankle to the knee, from knee to the hip. That's your right leg. That's our three pieces. And three on the left and three on the right. That's six. Start from your hand to the wrist, from wrist to the elbow, from elbow to the shoulder. Three pieces of one arm and three pieces of other arm. That's 12. Six. That's 12. Six in the legs and six in the arm. These are the 12 12 burj, 12 section. Said, yes, Babaji, I understand. How about the 52 decorating piece? Where are those 52 decorating piece jewels who are lighting up this palace? And Babaji said, we have 32 teeth in our mouth, and there are 5 nails on the right hand side, 5 on the left hand side, 5 on the right feet, and 5 on the left. If you add them up, 32 teeth, 10 nails on our hand, and 10 nails on our feet, that will be 52 king or 52 decoration. He said, Babaji, is that right? Babaji said, of course. He is living in a physical body. Then Babaji said, Uche khase mahal to bankan de khuda. The upper portion of that palace is our forehead, also known as Mehrab. He said, Babaji told Rukmuddin, he is sitting at Nukta Sveda. He is sitting at the third eye center, and Kalame Ilahi Bangi Usmani and sound current is coming there. पर सुत्तियां मांग ना सुन सके रिहा जुगाए खुदा. Rukmuddin, you are sleeping. You can't hear that bang or bangi Usmani. What you do every day, you just get up, you stand on the arch and make a big gazan. Allahu Akbar. What kind of bang is that? Bang is Allah is giving us a bang. We don't have to give him a bang. He is giving us a bang. We don't have to wake him up. His Shabd Kalame Nahi is coming. We have to listen to his bang. He don't to listen to your bang or your sound. Rukmuddin, why you are creating a sound? Are you trying to wake up Allah? He is in a wakeful state. Master is in a wakeful state. Allah is in a wakeful state, sitting at the third eye center, and you trying to wake him up. He is trying to wake you up, and you are sleeping. And Rukmuddin said, Hindi Peer, Baba Nanak ji, I don't understand. He said, Rukmuddin, you are physically wake up, but at the level of mind, you are sleeping. The mind that we are using right now, maybe 5 to 7% is a conscious mind. But the other part of the mind, the subconscious, unconscious, we don't know anything about that. Then Babaji said, Rukmuddin, you need to put attention at the Anjana Chakra. Nokta is Peda, listen to the Kame Ilahi Bange Usmani. It is coming from Satsang. And you have to be in a physical body. From physical to astral, then causal, then go beyond. He was so much surprised. He said, Babaji, I never knew that. I never knew that. Then he said, the real temple, the real mosque is our physical body. Same thing was explained to Sheikh Taqi by Tulsi Sahib. When Sheikh Taqi came from Makkah after a Hajj, then he had a chance to meet Tulsi Sahib ji. And when Tulsi Sahib ji saw him, and Tulsi Sahib ji asked him, where you came from? He said, Tulsi Sahib, I just came from Makkah, and I did the Nawaz, and I heard the Bange Sumani from a Qazi, and now I can get the Nazat. Nazat means salvation. And Tulsi Sahib ji smiled at him, and he said, but where you came from Makkah? He said, yes. He said, but you listen. But you listen. He said, I listen to the Azan, And Tulsi Sahib Ji said, Azan is coming in every one of us. That means the sound current is coming at the third eye center of every one of us. Then Tulsi Sahib Ji wrote a shabd, so he can understand it. And Tulsi Sahib Ji wrote a shabd that's very famous shabd. All of us know it. दिल का हुजरा साफ कर, जाना के आने के लिए तैयार, गैरों को उठा उसके बिठाने के लिए। एक दिल लाखों तमन्ना, उस पर ज्यादा हवस, फिर ठिकाना है कहाँ उसको बिठाने के लिए। You are too much attached with the outside world. How you can see him? Also Tulsi Sahib Ji said, नकली मंदिर मस्जिदों में जाए नित अफसोस है, असली मस्जिद का साकन दुख उठाने के लिए। Tulsi Sahib Ji said, the Makkah you went there, who made that Makkah? It was made by a human beings. Then who made the real Makkah, real masjid? Real masjid was created by a Vaheguru, Paramatma, God or Allah. That's our physical body. असली मस्जिद की मेहराब में गौर से तू सुन तकी, आ रही है तुझसे सदा तेरे जगाने के लिए। तुलसी साहब जी said, शेख तकी, the real mosque or masjid is the human body. असली मस्जिद की मेहराब means arch, that's our forehead. Again, Tulsi Sahib Ji is referring to the third eye center. That's above 9 door and 6 energy chakras. Tulsi Sahib Ji said, असली मस्जिद की मेहराब में गौर से तू सुन तके, आ रही है तुझसे सदा means the sound, the आवाज आसमानी तेरे जगाने के लिए। Listen to the sound is coming there. That sound will wake you up. That means if you start listening to the sound current on Shabd, that sound or Shabd will wake up your subconscious and unconscious mind. Then you will know, explore everything. When your subconscious mind wake up, then you will know many worth, many past lives. And when your unconscious mind will wake up, and you will go to the Brahm and universal mind, then you will realize, then you will understand how the creation was created. How this creation was created, from where this creation created. And Tulsi Sahib told him, असली मस्जिद की मेहराब में गौर से तू सुन तकी, आ रही है तुझसे सदा तेरे जगाने के लिए। ये सदा की तुलसी की है। Tulsi Sahib Ji said, this is my advice. Then Tulsi Sahib Ji said, मुर्शिद कामल से मिल, सिद्क और सबूरी से तू तकी, वो तुझे देगा फहम अल्लाहु अकबर के लिए। Tulsi Sahib Ji is to find yourself. When you meet a perfect master or Fuqara Kamal, he will give you initiation or he will give you a kalma. Then you will realize who is Allahu Akbar. Akbar means the great, Allah means the God. Then he will tell you then how to discover yourself. Discovery of the soul is discovery of God. There is no difference between God, soul, and perfect master. Perfect master. We have to start our journey from physical, but eventually we have to discover. Master is waiting for us 24/7. Ishwarpuri Maharaj is sitting there waiting for us. So we can go and meet him. We can meet him. We don't have to go anywhere outside. We can see our master, our Vaheguru Paramatma inside. And all those yogis and yogishwas, they had discussion with Baba Nanak ji, they have discussion with Kabir Sahib ji, they have discussion with Saint Ravidas ji. Saint Ravidas, even Gorakhnath went to Banaras or Kanchi and he had a chance to have discussion with Saint Ravidas ji. First thing he did, he had a philosopher's stone or purse with him. He went to Saint Ravidas ji, and Saint Ravidas ji was bending the shoes in his hut and enjoying the blissful state because he already reached such kind. Then when Gorakhnath ji went there, and Baba ji, Ravidas ji was so, he said, welcome Gorakhnath ji. And he said, Baba ji, Saint ji, I have a philosopher's stone with me. You want it? Baba said, no, I don't want it. It's a stone. Then he said, Baba ji, Saint Ravidas ji, I will be going all over, but can I leave it with you? Then Saint Ravidas ji said, of course you can leave. Just put it anywhere. When you come back, just pick it up. Then Babaji was mending the shoes in a hut, and Gorakhnath put that philosopher's stone, and there was little space in the roof. He put it there. Then Gorakhnath came back after 1 month. Then he thought maybe Saint Ravidas might have made a lot of gold with that philosopher's stone, because if you touch the philosopher's stone with iron or any metal, it will turn into a gold. When he came back, Saint Ravidas was still mending the shoes in the same hut. Then he said, Babaji, I gave you a parcel. He said, I don't know, but wherever you put it, just pick up from there. And he picked up the philosopher's stone. He was so much surprised. He said, Babaji, do you know this stone can turn the iron or any metal into gold? And Babaji smiled at him. Babaji smiled at him. Said, of course, Gorakhnath, I know it. He said, why you're so poor? He said, this is my karma. I have to live with my destiny. Then I have to do the seva of his sangat. Then Gorakhnath touched that philosopher's stone with the knife or putty knife that Ravidas was using to cut the leather. That thing turned into gold. And Babaji smiled again. He said, oh, this is what the philosopher's stone is? He said, yes. And Babaji was stitching the shoes. Then Babaji, Saint Ravidas ji, just kind of moved the thread in his mouth just like a floss. That thread turned into a gold. And Gorakhnath was so much surprised. He is turning a thread into a gold. He is beyond that philosopher's stone. Then Babaji wrote a beautiful shabad there. Kirban kahe khojan jai, kat antar khojo pai, poh made jab bas bast hai, tato karme raho rukbai. Babaji wrote a shabad, why you are going all over, Mr. Gorakhnath ji, Saint Gorakhnath ji, why you are going all over? If you are trying to find God, find him inside. Find him antar ghat. The meaning of ghat means physical body. Actually, the meaning of ghat means the section of your physical body that's above 9 doors. Your forehead and above is known as ghat. Saint Ravidas ji said, Girban kahe khojan jai, kat ati antar khojo pai, pof made जो बास बस्त है तामे काट रगो रुगवाई. Guru Sahib ji said, Gorakhnath ji, Jogi ji, why you are running all around? The Vaheguru Paramatma Raghu ji, or the one you are looking for, he is inside you, but he is at the cut. Cut means above 6 energy chakras and 9 doors. But all these yogis, they were doing the yogas at the energy centers. They don't know what the difference between energy center and awareness centers. And Saint Ravidas ji told Guru Gorakhnath ji, he is sitting at the third eye center. You are stuck with the 6th energy center. And also, Saint Ravidas ji said, he is sitting in the third eye center, and he is always there. Master is always there, just like a fragrance in the flower. A fragrance never leaves the flower. Master never leaves his disciple. Doesn't matter Master leave physically or no. But he lives inside of us at the third eye center, just like a fragrance in the flower. And Saint Ravidas ji said, Gorakhnath ji, my dear Yogi ji, you guys are stuck in the 6th energy center, and the real jewel is above the 6th energy center and 9 doors. Please go up. Then after that, Gorakhnath also has a discussion with Kabir ji. Eventually, then Baba Nanak ji went there, had a big goshti or discussion with all the yogis and told them what is the difference between the Jog Mat and Sant Mat. The difference between the path of the yogis and path of the master is big difference. Path of the yogis are only at the physical level, and the 6th energy center and 9 doors. And path of the master is a path of love and a devotion that has nothing to do with your energy center and physical body, that has to do with your soul. Because true love comes from soul. Path of the master is a path of love and devotion. And Ishwar Puri Maharaj ji is one of the best saint I ever had met. I ever had a darshan of that master. He is in Maila from the last 40 almost 43 years. Such a great master, disciple of great master. He really was a great master. Ocean of love, the path of the master, the way Ishwarpuri Maharji explained us, the love and devotion. I do not think if there is any saint who made it that much clear. He's an ocean of love. And that ocean of love is sitting at the third eye center. Meet him. He is available 24/7. He's not gone anywhere. He's not gone. He's still here. Still here. Still here at the third eye center. Meet him anytime. He's waiting for you. Waiting for you. This body is a temple of living God, but try to go beyond physical. Cross these 9 doors. That's why Huzur Maharaj Charan Singh Ji, when I got initiation, he asked everybody, who else is doing a Kundalini Yoga? Please tell me. Because in Kundalini Yoga, you have to go to the lowest chakra, very bottom, from where our spinal cord starts. And Baba said, don't do Kundalini Yoga because we have to skip all this energy center and focus at the third eye center. From there, our journey starts. As a matter of fact, Jurmani Baba Samit Singh Ji used to say, the path of the master is a path of love and devotion, and that path starts from Parbrahm, beyond time and space, beyond mind and Maya. That from where this path starts. But when you start this journey, you have to start from the third eye center, from where you meet your Satguru. Many of my friends asking me a question, when you see Ishwarji, when you see Babaji. I said, you might see many other things before you even see Babaji. You might see Tara Mandal, Chandrama Mandal, Surya Mandal. You will see a sky full with stars. You will see light of a sun. You will see a sky full with stars and moon. And eventually, Ishwarji there. Or some of you might not even see that if you have done some meditation in your past life. Then you will pick up where you left from. Then you will go up. But the master is waiting for you at the third eye center. हरमंदर ये शरीर है ज्ञान रत्न प्रकट हुए हरमंदर हरजी साचिया. This temple was created by God Himself, and He is residing inside of us at the third eye center as a perfect living master. Please accept my seva and please forgive all my mistakes. Radha Swami. Radha Swami.
Thank you, Prempalji, for your treasure words. We love your satsangs and we love you. Thank you. And now we can do 5-minute meditation to prepare ourselves to see our Holy Father, Ishwar Puri Ji, and enjoy his beautiful words from the Kingdom of God. So 5-minute meditation.
None of these. Supposing these words disappear from all the dictionaries of the world, as if they don't exist, do you know future will collapse immediately? There will be no future. Did you know that we create our future only with these three functions in our mind? If you don't have these three functions going, there is no future at all. And how do we do these? What do we do to have hope or fear, anticipation? We use time. Therefore, they are in the past. These functions that are supposedly creating a future are also the past. Examine this very carefully, you will find that where we are living today is only in the past. There's no present and there's no future. And how can you live in the past? Only through recall of memory. There's no other way to live in the past. You recall very vividly, it becomes life. Now this is a very simple commonsensical thing to examine and see, is this the nature of time through which we are living? You'll notice that we are, through memory, generating an experience which looks like past, present and future. Go carefully over it, that only memory is creating this. Now you can't have a memory if nothing happened. If nothing can happen, there being no time in the present, how did the memory come about? Memory of what? It can't happen in the physical world. There's no possibility of having a memory which is being played out, recalled, because nothing happened here. There was no time here. So it must have been recorded somewhere else. There has to be a place where memories were recorded or generated. Maybe nothing happened. Maybe we just put on memory capsules. Supposing we generate a memory capsule that this happened, it actually never happened, and then install in our consciousness, we'll experience life as if it is really happening. That's exactly what's going on. Those memory capsules, those capsules which we say contain memories of a lifetime, we picked up just one of those in a timeless state, and when you play it out, it looks like past, present and future all were created, and we are living our lives like that. When I say from the Akashic records, from the causal plane, we picked up those DVDs, that's exactly what I mean. The DVD is only a memory of something that has not happened. But when we install, it becomes our memory. When it becomes our memory, we recall it and think it's the real world going on. Very easy way to set up this world. To create this world through memory capsules which themselves are generated through consciousness, then they implant them into the self and generate the whole thing, including the experience of your being this body, your being this sense, your being this mind, and you create the whole thing. So it's very simply created. It looks complex because of our assumptions. We assume this world is real because of the nature of this experience. And not only nature of the experience, by shutting off the experience of how it is being generated. If you were to watch a movie and constantly look behind, where is the movie being projected from? If you constantly look at the projector in the movie, movie will never be real. You can try it out. Next time you waste your money on a movie. But that will be waste. But if you don't look at the projector, it becomes real, worthwhile. And when we have to create a world like this, why wouldn't we make it worthwhile? We have shut off our awareness of the projector. We shut off our awareness that the light of consciousness is going through a pre-filled memory capsule and they're generating this world. But you can turn around and see. If I told you go to a movie hall and see where the light is coming from, which causes all those images to appear, you will turn around and see. Same thing you can do here. You can just turn around inside from where the light of consciousness projects through a memories capsule picked up by you, and therefore you are watching that outside. Now, if you can go back and find that you picked up that capsule, you picked up that memory DVD, then I have to say that you are the maker of your free will and the maker of your destiny. At least you had a choice, and you picked it up. It's true that when you play it, you lose all control over that free will. But there you had the free will. Supposing you go to a higher level of consciousness beyond the DVDs, beyond the mind, beyond this kind of creation in past, present, and future and time, and go to the timeless state of your own consciousness, what will you discover? That everything was made by you. Not only your destiny, everybody's destiny. The whole experience was generated from the top by totality of consciousness. Therefore, that was your will too. So you can't say that, why am I going through this karma? Who put it on me? Why is God so angry with me? Why am I going through this? You did it to yourself 3 times, not once. You did it in the very beginning by creating the whole world like this, including yourself. You did it to yourself by picking up this particular DVD to play it out now. And now you do it again by saying, I made a mistake yesterday. The same thing you are doing again and again. So this is just to make it a very interesting play with ups and downs. This is not the whole play. This physical world we are seeing is a very, very small section of our total play. The play is vaster, much vaster. There are so many universes on the physical plane. We are in a physical universe. Have you seen what's happening in a galaxy today? Another galaxy? Have you seen what's happening in other planets like ours? Do we know the other planets? Well, there is one law in mathematics. It's called the law of probability. It's today accepted as a mathematical law. The law of probability says that certain options which are given to you are probable. If one happens, the other will happen. It also is based upon the law of averages. Both are mathematical laws. Nobody till today, no mathematician has been able to prove how they work, but they work. They say if you toss a coin has heads and tails. If the coin is completely equally balanced, a good coin, you throw it up, it can fall heads or tails. If you throw it up second time, it can fall like that. Supposing you throw it 100 times, it could be all 100 heads or the tails. It's never happened. Why not? Never happened. It could be 40 heads, 60 tails, 55 that, or it could be 20 and 80 at the most. Not 100. Supposing you throw it 1,000,000 times, it will be exactly 500,000 heads and 500,000 tails. It has been tested out. Does the coin have a memory of what it's doing? Not at all. Does the coin remember how many times I was heads and how I was tails? No. Then what law is prevailing to even out this division of heads and tails on the tossing of a coin? It's a law prevailing in the whole universe called the law of probability and the law of averages. When you toss a coin and it comes heads, you have increased the probability of it becoming tails next time. If 2 times it's been head, you still further increase the possibility of its falling tails now. That's the law of probability, the mathematical laws. You know who's taking advantage of this law? The casinos. Have you been to these gambling casinos? They are using this law of probability and law of averages and making millions out of us. Because they know that so many times even a throw of anything will ultimately create an average in their favor. And if they keep a little edge in their favor, they win. But these 2 laws, the law of averages and the law of probability, if you apply it to this universe, if you apply it to the observed galaxies of this universe, the law of probability says the chances of another Earth-like planet with the same conditions, identical conditions on this, from the observed universe of today, there would be at least 28,000 more planets like the Earth. The observed galaxies. And why should we assume that life is only existing on one of these planets when the conditions are identical? Therefore, it's very reasonable to surmise that there is life existing in other parts of this universe, of the physical universe itself. But is it merely a law of probability that we have to depend upon? Or is there any other way of verification? Yes, there is another way of verification. Travel. Go there and check out. Now, we don't have any known means of traveling to these galaxies because of a very big obstacle, And the obstacle is time and space. How can that become an obstacle? I see a star, an actual star, a star is like a sun. Our sun is also a star. The very first nearest star, I want to go and see it and travel, is 1 light year away. You know what light year means? The time it takes light to travel for 1 year. Since I can only see the star from the light that comes from there, when I look at the star, I am seeing the star that was there 1 year ago. There's no way to see any star in the sky which is there today. Incapable, totally incapable. We look at the sky, we are not seeing the sky as it is today. Everything we see there is 1 year old, 2 years old, million years old, billion years old. That's a big problem. You want to travel to another galaxy which you are seeing in the telescope, you are trying to go back 1 billion years. You're not going where this is happening today. No matter how hard, how fast you travel, it's not a question of distance. It's a question of distance plus time. The distance and time are the same thing. You can say 1 light year away, or you can say 1 year away. It's the same thing. 1 year in the past, or 1 light year away, it's the same thing. Now we are watching things which are 1 billion light years away. So when you look at those things, how can you travel there? We don't have any means right now. We're trying to see if we can do something to this time frame. It looks like time is not what we've always believed it to be. Looks like time can be warped, and we can create a wormhole by warping and making a hole in time and travel very fast. Maybe one day we'll do it. Maybe theoretically we can do it even today. Theoretically we know how space can be bent. If space is bent, time gets bent with it, being an ordinate of space. Therefore, if we can bend space, we can bend time. We can bend it to an extent that if we are here 1,000 miles away at this end of the paper and 1,000 years away, it's the same thing. So if we can bend this somehow, if we know the techniques of bending it, we can be a few feet away from 1,000 years away. We could, in one jump, go to 1,000 years earlier. This is a physical possibility by science. And they are examining how to do it. They have theoretically at photon level, at molecular level done it. So therefore, if they can expand it to a human level, we can also just jump from one room to another through a wormhole. And wormhole, which is just a bent space-time continuum, we can reach any time, anywhere we like. Now, if that can be done, then we'll find out where are those other Earth-like planets, and we can go and actually check it out. But till that is done, there's another way of doing it. Although our physical body is limited in its locomotion and transport, we can transport ourselves with the internal body. And if the internal body is really the real source of this body, and we travel with that, we should be able to see other parts of this universe. That we can do. That we have done. People have done that. They have done and gone and seen that there are other planets and other universes with living beings on it with same kind of souls like we have. And those souls who inhabit those people, they are following different laws of nature. The gravity works differently there. Time works differently there. From an experience, one of the experiences of one of these journeys, I can tell you that in one of these universes, time is being used like a watch. Like we use a watch here, but we use a watch only to see time. They use the watch to control time. They can speed up a little. So while you people are sitting here, I could be in tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And they think it's very normal. They use time like we use space. When we are walking on a road with some friends, somebody can walk a little faster. Then he's gone ahead. Others can run up and catch, or he can stop and let others join. We are controlling our speed of movement on space right now. But we don't touch the time with it because the time frame required for this is very little. compared to the time frame in a wormhole or in using for interstellar space. But there, people there in a certain universe have their technology, advanced technology, by which they control at what speed they move in time. And it's just like ours moving on space. It's natural for, okay, I'll meet you. I'm going ahead. I'll meet you next week. I'll be there today, but you can join me next week. And we can't think of it here, but there it's normal. So there are so many universes right now on the physical plane of existence. We see such a small slice of what exists here. But supposing you go to the next higher level, you can experiment and go around and see all these things. This is called the side benefit of spiritual journeys. It's not our spiritual journeys to go back to a true home, discover who we are, but this also releases the potential. Releases the potential of how much capacity we have. We have the capacity to examine the whole of creation at every level. Starting from this one, starting from the physical level, you can examine the whole of it through this power of consciousness when you raise it to a different level. So don't think that meditation is merely to get peace of mind. It's a great adventure travel. You can travel beyond all imagination. You can understand the nature of creation. You can understand what a variety of creation it is and travel all over. I'm not giving you a incentive speech to go there. It just happens to be that this is part of the benefits of a spiritual travel through meditation. Meditation, the art of withdrawing your attention within yourself and thereby releasing the higher potential of your inner selves, inner forms, inner bodies, is so great. With the very first step of releasing yourself from the feeling this is your only form, your body, but you have an inner form, that next inner form, which consists of all your sense perceptions. You're able to see very clearly. Those eyes never get bad. You may be wearing glasses here, having poor eyesight, but those eyes can see, read the finest small print. The inner eyes can see. All of us have that. They can hear the slightest sound, the inner ears. The inner sense perceptions have such great power of perceiving, much better than what we have on this physical body. In fact, these are the inner senses that are operating through the cover of this physical body, and therefore they get dull and operate much less effectively. But when you release yourself from these through meditation and become unaware of this body and become aware of that one, which is natural and automatic, when you withdraw your attention from here, behind the eyes where seat of consciousness is in the wakeful state, when you withdraw your attention there, you automatically become unaware of this and open up an awareness of who is meditating. And that's yourself in the next form. That form itself can give you such great trips around creation that your mind will fall in love with them. And people want to say, it's very difficult to leave this world. My mind thinks of all these things. Have one vision of those. Make one good trip there, and you will never feel attached to these things or tempted to go over here. People say, our attachments are coming in the way. Of course they're coming in the way, because we have taken so many lives to create these attachments here. We have attachments with people, attachments with things, and we can't get rid of them. Some people say, you should practice detachment. Can you do it? Not really. I have not met a single person who successfully practiced detachment. I have met yogis, sadhus, holy people sitting out in the Himalayan mountains, trying to detach themselves by running away from here. And their mind is always going back to the cities and towns which they left behind. If you try to run away from something, thinking it's a detachment, your mind doesn't run away. When I came, I had a great fondness for a pizza called Ye Old Shakey's Pizza. It's almost disappeared from the country now, but I find some places still have it. And I loved that pizza. Supposing I want to detach myself from the detachment. And I say, no more Shakey's pizza, no more pizza. The more I try to push it away, the more I will think about it. The more attached I will get to it. That is something, our nature is like this, that when we try to push something away, we stay mentally more with it. Therefore, you can't practice detachment by pushing yourself away from anything. Then how do we practice detachment? How can we be detached if this is the nature of our mind? The only way is if a better pizza comes. I like the taste better, the shape better, I forget the old one. Then I am detached from the old one, which means I have to be attached to something new in order to be detached from the old. And that is where this love and devotion comes into play. I loved that pizza, I love this new one more, that's why I'm forgetting about it. I love these people, but I love something more, so I'm not bothered so much, it's not coming in my way. Only a fresh, new attachment can create detachment from the past, not practicing detachment. Therefore, the role of a perfect living master sometimes is exactly this, to create a permanent object of love, where the love for a master, inside and outside, automatically makes us detached from the others. It's not that you practice detachment. You are actually going through a process of attachment through love and devotion, which creates detachment by itself, by nature, and you don't have to do anything about it. The role of love and devotion comes and plays a very big thing. This role is very important in the spiritual path, that the love and devotion for a master that we have. How can we have more love and devotion for a master than we can have other people? Why can't we practice with anybody? We should be able to practice this love and devotion for every human being. We should love the whole world. Well, love is a very double-sided, there's reciprocity in love. If you love somebody, then you must get the same amount of love. I gave a mathematics on this earlier. But when you love the world, sometimes just when you love somebody, they hate you. What kind of love is that? You say, I love you, and the other person says, but I don't. Get away from me. What kind of love is this? And sometimes you say, the other person says, yes, I love you too. Say, I love you too. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Are you certain? What is that kind of love? We have to ask reassurance again and again. Isn't it not a mental game? These are mental games of attachment. They are not games of love. When you have true love for somebody, you forget yourself. But in the mental game of attachment, you are very prominently knowing yourself. I love you. Ego, I love you. I is so strong when you say, I love you. If somebody says, well, I don't, I also hate you now. What's this I game, this ego game? Therefore, when we try to have this experience of love for the world, sometimes it works, sometimes doesn't. Sometimes it works for a little while, and then it doesn't work. During my experience throughout the world, it's not one country or one nation or one culture. Throughout the world, I've met people who say, men and women telling me, we are soulmates. How did you find your soulmates? We love each other so much. We got so much love for each other. We are made for each other. We are going to marry. Then they get married. Then 3 months later, sometimes 6 months later, they come back to me. We are in the divorce court. What happened to that soulmate stuff? You said you were soulmates, you loved so much, you made for each other. No, we found out from day one, we were never meant for each other. But that's not what you said on day one to me. Imagine, is this our experience of love and devotion in this world? If there is no stability, if there is no reliability in the beloved, how can you call it love? But there is one love. And I tell you from experience. Now this is, I'm guaranteeing from my own experience. that the love that you get from a perfect living master is totally unconditional and permanent. Now, that's not a small thing. You can be good or bad. The perfect living master loves you. Non-judgmental, completely. Most of the love that we come across in this world is judgmental. Oh, you weren't good, therefore I don't love you. Parents telling their kids, you are naughty, behave, don't give you this. All of our love in this world is so judgmental. It's based upon judgment all the time. We judge people for everything. We judge people we have no connection with. We are judging politicians, we are judging people sitting together, constantly using our mind for judgment. And here is a man who comes in your life with no judgment at all. Won't judge anybody, just love. When you experience that love, it's totally different because it's totally unconditional love. And that love never goes away. It's always there, no matter what. Now to have that experience of love, and you can have that experience of love in your life on a daily basis by missing that person, remembering that person, and closing your eyes and seeing that person, how can you be attached to anything else? With that love, all attachments slowly disappear. The practice of detachment is not necessary in that case. Of course, we need to be detached in order to go back to our true home. But you can't try to be detached. But to experience the love of a perfect living master, you will be detached and you'll be able to go back home.
My dear Holy Family, it's time to be detached. It's time to go back home, and it's time for unconditional love. So let's come up, let's forget about the world outside and the body below, and come up here where unconditional love is waiting for us, where Master is waiting for us. Have few nice words for our Holy Father, gratitude. Repeat the Simran of the holy name slowly with the tongue of thought at intervals. I hope you will have a great meditation, and I will keep Zoom on for 20 minutes, and I hope to see you tomorrow for another holy day in Holy Father God. Thank you for coming.